Hello, everybody, and welcome to day one of our 5-day fitness reboot. I'm super excited about this. I hope you are. We had a great Mother's Day yesterday. I hope you got to do something really special with your family. We went out on these little inflatable boats that we bought during the pandemic and floated down a river, got some sunshine, got some time with my kids. It was awesome. But now it's Monday and we're getting back into gear. And so I just want to say welcome. And whether you are able to join in live on these trainings that we're doing as 12 p.m. Central Time each day this week, or if you need to watch on replay, make sure you say hey in the comments and let me know that you watched this and participated in this for two different reasons. Number one, I love giving away free stuff. So at the end of the week, I've got two $25 Amazon cards that I'm going to be doing a drawing for those of you that participate and engage in this as a reward for you doing something for you. And yes, you have to spend that money on you, okay? I'm going to make you send me what you bought, so you're actually doing something for yourself. And second of all, I'm going to make this as interactive as possible. I see you guys commenting here, and I promise I will come back in and spend time commenting on everything that you do because I want to engage with you. I want to support you on this. So this 5 days is going to possibly change your life, right? For me, when I switched from feeling like fitness and exercise had to be this big ordeal and something that I kept putting off again and again because it was just too much in my really busy life, when I switched to these short workouts, this changed everything. It changed my mood, it changed my energy, it changed how I felt as a mom and how I showed up with my kids. And I absolutely love sharing this with other special needs moms because I know that it can be really hard to prioritize your health. So today, we're going to talk about, just for a little bit here today, how to get past procrastination and that, like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. This is something that I'm going to do later. Because if we're really honest, like, it can be months. I have talked to moms where it's even years of saying, I'm going to get to this later. I will take care of my health and do this later. And putting this off, I'm going to show you today, like, how this can have a really big impact, not just on you, but on your family and everybody that's around you. So, yeah, we're going to talk about procrastination. And I want you to know, like, this isn't a negative thing. There's zero guilt from me here on this idea of procrastinating. It's not about making excuses. This is a legit thing that you have a ton on your plate. And so when you're looking at the list of things that you have to take care of, maybe it's therapies, maybe it's doctor's visits, maybe it's IEP meetings, maybe you're working with your kids on behavioral issues or whatever your kids' extra needs are. I know a lot of moms have to make, like me, make special meals for my kids because of his medical needs, his sensory needs. Like, we legit have a lot going on. And so when we're faced with all these things that we have to do in a day for our kids, for our house, for our job, like, putting ourselves on priority on that list is super hard. This is really hard. Like, leave a comment if you're here because, like, this is you. You're busy and you know inside of you the value of taking time to exercise, but making it happen is so hard. And so you keep saying, okay, I'm going to do this later. I'll get to this later. And then it never gets done. But I want to challenge you on that today, and I want to mostly encourage you and give you some strategy and some empowerment to help you move yourself up on that priority list, okay? So before we jump into these three big things for today, when you leave a comment on this video and interact with this so that I know you did this, I'm going to hook you up and send you one of my favorite simple 5-ingredient dinner recipes. So make sure you just say hey and let me know if you're watching this live or on replay so I can help you out with that because I know that making dinners are so tough. All right, Tara, I don't know if I got that right. I see you here. Pauline, hey, happy Monday. Yeah. So let's do this. So three big takeaways when it comes to moving our fitness and our health up on our priority list. The biggest one that I have found is that we've got to understand that this doesn't have to be a big ordeal, right? We are taught again and again and again through fitness programs and through all of the challenges and all the weight loss programs and all of the stuff that's out there in the fitness world that every time we show up for a workout, we need to go hard, we need to go all out, we need to push ourselves, we're not going to get results unless we like do this huge workout. You know, there's all of these really challenging workout programs out there, and even when you talk to doctors, like if you ask like, hey, what should I do, you know, they're going to tell you like try to do an hour of movement a day. And the reality is there are guidelines out there for, you know, recommended workouts, but we can do this in a way that we're really smart about it, and that it doesn't have to be like this overwhelming, challenging, miserable experience. Because quite frankly, if you're busy and you're already overloaded, putting more of that like high pressure, high intensity stuff on your plate, it does not go well for our nervous system. It actually stresses us out more. And this is why we're less likely to actually show up and do anything. And so I noticed this with myself and with a lot of my clients that I worked with early on in my coaching with special needs moms, that like we've got to figure out a way to bring this down a notch and make this work. And so when we can shift away from feeling like exercise is going to be this huge ordeal and acknowledge that doing a little bit every day will add up to the same recommendations, like the daily movement recommendations that we get from doctors, that we get from, you know, healthcare professionals, from the CDC, like it doesn't have to be all out all the time. And when you show up for workouts, like some days you're going to want to go hard and that's cool, but some days you're not. But what matters is that you have a consistent practice of doing something. And like what this looks like for me, guys, I aim for these 20-minute workouts. Some days I feel good and I'll do more like 40 minutes. Some days it is 5 minutes. Some days that's it. Like I'm brushing my teeth, doing some squats. I'm waiting for my coffee to brew in the morning, and like I'm doing some stretches and some lunges in my kitchen. Sometimes I'm here in my office and it's just a day where I'm not doing anything. So I'll pause. I'll go run up and down my stairs a couple of times. I'll do some push-ups. And it's the little things that add up over time. So the workouts that you're doing this week, like you're going to see 20 minutes feels awesome, and it's done like so fast. And what's going to happen is you're going to shift your thinking around this, that if you've been trying to like get in a couple big workouts each week and that's just taking a ton of time and you find yourself not doing it, like this is going to feel awesome when it's done quick and you do a little bit every day. So this is the first big takeaway. When it comes to saying, I'll do it later, if it feels like a big task, yeah, we're going to keep putting it off because we don't have a lot of space for that. But when we shrink it down and make movement, daily movement, a priority, even if it's a little bit, we're more likely to show up and just do something and acknowledge that that's still really good. It's good enough because you're keeping that habit of movement. So that's the big takeaway number one. And the second thing that we've got to shift is this idea of my fitness and my exercise is all about my body and how I'm going to look. And maybe it's weight loss for you. Maybe you're wanting to fit into your clothes better. Maybe you're wanting to see more muscle tone. Like that's a part of it. Yeah, that's a part of it. And that's cool when that happens. But I have found again and again, when it comes to movement and exercise, especially for us as special needs moms, when we're just focused on that physical, like outward appearance side of things, like this is hard to prioritize. This is really hard to prioritize. It means a lot, right? It's good to feel confident in your body. It's good to feel that way. But like when it comes to my kids' health and like me making enough money to take care of my family and my kids' therapy and like feeding my family, on that list of priorities, the way that I look is pretty low. It's pretty low. It should be. It should be pretty low, honestly, right? Like we as moms, we're here to take care of our kids, and this is a big deal. So, you know, if you feel that struggle of like, I want to be exercising, but I'm just thinking about this in terms of like, I want to look better and I want to look a certain way, like once you let that go and you accept the fact that like this is more about how you're going to feel, this is going to help you to have better energy, this is going to help you to be more productive in your day so you get things done more efficiently because your brain has been turned on. Which, by the way, there's really cool research on this. I can share it here in the group. Like 20 minutes, the reason I landed on this was because they've done brain scans of 20 minutes of non-exercise and then after 20 minutes of exercise, and the areas of your brain that activate when you move this way, it's your concentration, it's your problem solving, it's your productivity, it's like that mental clarity that we need to take care of all of the stuff that we have going on in our lives. So this is in your benefit. So better energy, you're going to be in a better mood as well. We get this little hit of these feel-good hormones, and so when it comes to stress and anxiety and depression and all of these things that we deal with as special needs moms, doing a little bit of exercise is going to help you with your mental health and how you are with your kids. Like, I don't know about you, but there are days where I just want to explode on my kids because I have so much stress and tension built up in me. And taking that little bit of time for me to move every day is an outlet, first of all, to release some of that pent-up stress. And then it's that hit of those feel-good hormones so that I am better as a mom. I'm more patient. And I know there's a lot of Down syndrome moms that are in here. Like, when we're supposed to respond and not react to our kids, how in the world are we going to do that if we have pent up stress and like we're in this negative headspace, right? I found for me, like, that's not possible. I will not be able to interact with my kids and their behavior issues in a way that I need to unless I have gotten this sorted out and like managed my stress. So that's the big takeaway number 2 for today. If you're putting this off and struggling to prioritize your health because you're thinking about it in terms of your body and how you're going to look, shift that. Try this. Like, think about when you get ready to start exercising, think about like, I'm going to feel great. 20 minutes from now, I am going to feel amazing. I'm going to be in a better mood. I'm going to have better energy. I'm going to be more productive. And it can change everything about how you prioritize your exercise. And so number 3, the last big takeaway is taking a really honest look at the trajectory of your habits right now and where you are headed with what you're doing right now. And I call this finding our why, like our big term why, long-term why, because when we get so caught up in the day-to-day and like this, call it survival mode, where we're just getting through everything each day, we aren't really thinking about the long-term impact of the choices that we're going to make and how that's going to affect us. Because every single day, what you're choosing to do is leading you down a path, right? And there are these 2 paths that we can take in our life. And one of them, making choices, little choices every day to be healthy, to be active, to take care of ourselves. Where this is taking you, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, is having a body that is capable, that is strong, that is healthy, that is less at risk for things like diabetes and heart disease and cancer and early death. This is where we go when we make these choices. The other trajectory is, continuing to put yourself on the back burner, and a year from now, like, where are you going to be if you haven't changed anything, if you haven't figured this out? 5 years from now, where are you going to be? What is the possible outcome of continuing to struggle with this and not figuring out a way to prioritize your health, right? 10 years, 20 years. And I had, early on in my training career, I had the opportunity to work with the older population, older demographic. And this was another thing. This was a few years ago. This was another thing that completely shifted my thinking around exercise, because I saw these people in their 50s and their 60s coming to me and, you know, they were struggling to like get up and down. Their function was gone. They were on medications like crazy, like daily injections, people with diabetes. They'd had hip replacements, knee replacements. They were struggling to walk. They were struggling to go up and down stairs. You know, some of them had like heart attacks and all these I mean, this is terrifying. I was genuinely terrified. And I saw and I listened to them talk about this and say, like, I wish I had just done something a little bit sooner. And I really internalized this for me as a special needs mom. And I'm sharing this with you because I really want you to think about this. Like, your kids, you're in a really unique spot because they may or may not grow up and be independent. And where do you want to be later on down the road when you are still taking care of them, when you're still with them and they need you? We've got to think about these things. We've got to grapple with these things. It's a hard topic, but every day the choices that you're making now are sending you down one of those paths. And so this is why I feel so passionately about helping moms learn to prioritize themselves in the midst of raising kids, and also about figuring out a way to do this that is actually doable. So this week, we're doing it. We're going to jumpstart, we're going to reboot your fitness, your thinking around your health and your exercise, and figure out a way that you can make this work, because I've seen it work in my life. I've seen it work in the lives of dozens of moms that have worked with me in these 20-minute workouts, and I'm so excited to see how it works for you. So before we log off today, I'm trying to keep these around 15 minutes because I value your time. I want you to leave a comment here and let me know, like, what is that big why for you? You showed up, right? You signed up for this. You wanted to be a part of this reboot. What is it for you that matters so much here? What is it that you're hoping to get? Is it better energy? Is it that idea of like, I'm taking care of myself so that I can be here long term? Is it, you know, how you want to feel? Is it managing stress? Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to interact with each of you. And when you comment here, I'm going to make sure that I support you in all of that and your goals. All right, so let's do this. We've got day one. If you haven't done it yet, your 20-minute workout is posted here in the group. I'm going to send you guys the 5-ingredient recipe that I absolutely love for dinner when you comment. And we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, I've got some good nuggets for you tomorrow. Every time you show up, every time you interact, you're going to get another entry into those $25 gift cards. So do this one thing for you. Do this one thing. It's so worth it. It is the one thing that you will never regret, is keeping yourself healthy and capable. Yeah, Tara, I love that one. Keeping active with your kids. Yeah. And that's a really good point. I didn't talk about that, but that's another really good point when we think about like the legacy that we're leaving with our kids and how we're normalizing health and normalizing movement and normalizing exercise. These are really big ones that when our kids see us doing these things, the statistics show that those kids are more likely themselves to grow up and be active and be healthy themselves. So I love that. Good. Awesome, Pauline. All right. You guys are amazing. Let's do this. Prioritize yourself. Try it out this week. See how it feels to make these 3 shifts of letting go of fitness being an overwhelming deal, thinking about how this is going to make you feel versus how you're going to look, and looking at that big picture why, what this is going to mean for you when you figure this out and you get this done a year from now, 10 years from now, and you've got this active lifestyle. Let me know, and you guys have an amazing Monday. I will be back tomorrow at the same time to cheer you on and help you out on your journey. See you soon.